Hello, ladies and gents. Don't know what happened there. We died in the game and we got sliced up and kicked out. The game just crashed, so I had to do a quick restart. But we're back. So, this is the ending. I think we're going to have to fight the shield guy, Mr. Guthrum, whatever his name is. And claim world peace, basically. Right, hopefully it's saved. I'm hoping it has. For some weird reason, we just got kicked out on that one, guys. Sorry about that, but we're back. Let's carry on. Yeah, we're right here. So, we're not fighting those. Let's skip through this. Me and you, bro. I do good. Wow, he's loving it.
Such empty fury. It does not matter if I die as long as Alfred is safe. Your life means so little.
We can get around it. We can just use a stun attack, can't we? Oh, that's the one. Yeah, get over it. No.
Saints alive!
Saints alive? What? Ooh. That is doing big damage. Big damage. Why can't I block it? Now. Run. It's dead food. Scumbag. Why can't I run outside? Here. Right. I think the arrow is the way. The arrow is the way. The arrow is the way. Whoa, dirty boy. Shit. Where can I go? Get out. Get out. Dude. He's on one. As he right, should be. I didn't know. Ooh. Flipping out, I'm dead. I am dead. Yeah, I'm cooked. Ah! No. Solid. As he should be, really. Flip it out. Ooh. I think this is bad. Alfred's going to be even worse. Leonard? Better go sit, Leonard. Come backside. Right.
For all your boasts, warrior, I scratch at you like a cat. You yap like a dog.
Is that? Mate, just do one. It's not how you want to do this. Whoa. Flip it out. Dear, oh dear. Teabag. Teabag. It's gonna be one of these. It's gonna be one of these times.
At least I will have
Curly head twat.
have no fear of death, for this
Oh,
battle
shit.
is only the beginning.
Only darkness will come to claim you.
Flipping out, half my health off. I'm dead. 2 hits. Boom. Done. I need to lower the difficulty. I'm not going to get past this otherwise. Normally I wouldn't bother doing that, but I'm such a low level. I just want to get through the story, and you guys just need to see the ending. Going to lower it and see if that makes any difference. Probably not. Options. I normally wouldn't bother, but we're not going to be stuck on this for hours. Combat. Scald. Yes, yes. See if this makes any difference. Probably not. Probably just get wrecked as well. But normally I would just play it straight through on the normal, but we've done over 3 hours now on the stream. And I just want to get the guy. Just want to get the guy. But I want to get the ending in for you guys as well, so you can see what that's about. Plus, we've still got to do the review, so conscious of time.
Did you have the cup?
Fight me. Better.
For our friend. I have no fear of death, for this
Yeah,
battle is
fair.
only the beginning.
Only darkness will come to claim you.
Still don't want to be stuck there, though. Piss off, mate. Yeah, this is what we want. It's a cheap way out, I know, guys, but I'll keep the save and I'll go back through and I'll fight his ass. Yes, he did. Come on, you little scumbag. Right there. Oh, I missed. Ooh. Nope. Flip. Hellfire brimstone. Whee! Hey, just stop it. Piece of shit. Yeah, what?
For our friend.
Shut up. There's more than that, mate. Don't want to get caught with that. Got him.
You
I
are
got to save
beaten,
yourself.
Eaten? No, not so.
Alfred used you, fool. He threw you in my path.
Kill me then. It makes no odds. This island will never be your home, Eivor. We Saxons will always stand firm. Shoulder.
No. I will use you as you used me. A few hours in the company of
That. I.
Could have killed him. Should have killed him, really. Don't know why I spared his ass.
Soma!
The men of Wessex! They came from every house and hovel!
Nice.
Soma, fall back!
For life!
No way. Right, I pressed L1 on all of those. Go from is that long house securing the base. Right, okay. Help the allies.
Did you see Alfred?
No, but the Saxon boys were ambushed. One lays wounded.
Hold these men back. I'll find them.
What? Carry who?
Thanks, me old lord. Who wants some?
Threw his mate at him.
One more.
Whoa! What was that? Shit! Flipping out. Wow, that was interesting. Jesus Christ. Do it all again. Of course we have. It's easier otherwise, wouldn't it? Launched an axe at me. What about the dogs? Goddamn dogs.
The garrison has more defenders than we hoped. My men are being slaughtered. I will find a way to open the gates from the inside. Hurry! These waves of reinforcements are hell-sent.
Destroy the garrison gate. How do I get in? Well, that'll do. Up, up, up. Cool. Mash that to pieces. Well, could have used that actually. Right. There we go. Let's blow it.
Keep our wits about us.
Yeah, get rid of the ranged people a minute. So more of a risk right now. Ah. Flipping archers. Whoa! That's close.
We have the advantage.
Do you? Come on.
We bring Christ hell with you.
Need some health. Whoa, what's that for, mate? Tell you what, the scumbags.
Let's rip the dog up. That is is most of them. Make sure the garrison stays under our control. I need to help the others.
No. I don't need to die right now. Dying right now is not good.
I should check on Guthrum at the feast hall.
Desperately need some health. I am screwed if someone lobs an axe at me. Need some food. Come on, there's a fireman, there's nothing there. Oh, shit. Gotta get the hell out of Dodge.
Did you see Alfred?
No, but your Saxon boys were ambushed. One lays wounded.
Hold these men back. I'll find them.
Where's the food? Flippin' heck. Just when you need it. I'm done before I take one more shot and it's over. Oh man. Don't want to have to do that again. Please don't attack me. Yeah, that's the one. That will do. Jesus. Bit more there. Oh, adrenaline.
Take your last breath.
Slipping out, that's close. What?
Eat this. Gunwald! Come, get up! This is no time for weep wailing.
I cannot. And there is a blackness closing in around my eyes.
Shut up. Fool. Oh man, they're all dying.
Gunwald, listen to me. I'm so cold.
You will warm yourself and
Perhaps not, Eivor.
he will pull you to his breast. Sob. There was nothing more you could have done. Friendship has a hollow ring. There's no...
I should check on Guthrum at the feast hall.
Yeah, but not liking the looks of my health right now.
Pathetic! Can't hold out much longer.
You're probably right.
The other side must be barred.
Ah. Archers as well.
We
Need
keep
to
our wits
move.
about us. That will cost you.
Who's it?
Guthrum, I need you fighting with the rest.
These men will not surrender! And one little cock flogger barricaded himself behind that door there!
I will find a way in.
Jen, need to get on the other side.
This guy. Yeah, sit down. Sit your ass down. Right, how are we getting in? Over the top. Yes.
You attack us on our holy feast, eh? Leave this
Dead.
to me. You will regret this unholy interruption. Leave me be. I'm no threat to you.
Where's the guy? Stop me, yard. Tie him up. What's the end of you? Madness.
They're weakened. Let us finish this. Time to die.
I'm weakened.
These things defy our god and king.
I feel great.
You will not rout us, interlopers. Not on this Christ mass. Over here.
Come on.
Intruder men. Stand true. God protects us on his day of feasts. Please, Lord,
Yeah, you got him.
back. These things defy our god and king. You're mine.
He's down.
You will not rout us,
Whoa.
interlopers. Not on this Christ mass.
Where's that shield he's got? Yeah, what's it made of? Steel, probably. Look at now.
Stand true. God protects us on his day of feasts.
Now what?
I'll kill you. You will not rout us, interlopers. Not on this Christ mass.
Not even a footprint.
Oh, I just missed it.
No, you don't.
Spears are the worst.
Stand true. God protects us on his day of feasts.
Guessing we'll just fight them all.
Keep focused. God. These things defy our god and king. I'll kill you. Watch for the counter.
Seriously gotta take them all out.
You will not rout us, interlopers. The last of the Saxons are fleeing.
Yeah, you bet.
Battle is won. That's it. They're fleeing.
Yes. Man. Just need Alfred now. Have Wessex.
They are routed! The city!
Good from Jarl. We are not without losses.
Their king is fled! His patsy struck down!
Guthrum, hear me.
Soma? Dead? She has gone to the endless...
Many fought for us and died.
Are you ready to...
Yes.
One of them.
Time to send our friends to their great reward. Will you do the honors?
Nothing awaits them. They lived, they died, and now their bodies will burn to cinders. Their saga ends here.
Well, do not share that with them.
Sad at times.
Victory is ours. But it came at a great cost. Soma Jarlskona, who stood at Guthrum's right hand.
I like
She will
Soma,
live
she was a
on
decent
in our
character.
memories, from now to the
All
end
right,
of days. And to Hjor, warrior,
Sure.
husband, and a friend. He made the ultimate sacrifice. I here repay it. And to Hunwald, whose kind heart has now led him to his father's side. May his God welcome him with open arms.
3 of them dead.
Let us send them on their way. All our beloved dead. Our fallen warriors. And speed them to their end.
Damn. Come on, let's end this now. Let's kill this guy.
Guthrum.
When the Reeve died, did he take comfort in knowing
He was strangely peaceful in the end.
we stumble through our years, ravenous? This life is never enough. Would it not suit you to know there is something beyond all this? Not
I think all I wish for now is to live among the friends I've made.
Alfred made me swear fealty upon the cross of their god's son. It burned between my fingers, as if I have not felt its like before.
What will you do now?
Whatever I must do.
I should return to Swanborough and tell her of Hunwald's fate. Better the news comes from me than a stranger.
Okay. Swanborough. What's left Swanborough? Where is it? Is that it? Is it? What about Alfred? That can't be the ending, surely.
I got friends enough to make you pay.
Where's Swanborough? Down there. I'm here to announce your friend is dead.
Eivor?
Oh yeah, that was his wife, wasn't it?
I
No. Gods, no. Don't say it, please, Eivor. Don't say it.
I am sorry.
Oh! My own one. No. My poor swan. Oh, gods.
The poor swan.
He fought bravely and turned the tide to secure a victory. Your dear Hunwald died a hero and will be so remembered.
Oh, gods.
He walks among warriors now.
Yes.
I know words are poor salve for a wounded heart, and know that we are here for you, always.
Brought to Ranvi.
Admitted, Alvis. I am the superior wordsmith. Admit to a falsehood?
I'd sooner square a circle. Interact.
Pleasure to see you, Eivor.
Hamptonshire has fallen, and with it the kingdom of Wessex. But the cost was great. Maybe too great for all we gained.
Rest then. You have earned it.
On the backs of so many. Time will tell if it was worth it.
Is that it? England pacified. Explore further to keep your saga going. Upgrade your settlement. Oh, get out of town, is that it? Oh, you're joking. That's naff. Do you know what would have been a good place to end that? It would have been when they came back from Norway and they do the celebration thing when Sigurd gives the Jarlship to Eivor. So there you go, guys, just shy of 50 hours. And it's done. So I'm going to quit to the title screen. And we're going to go into the review. So that is the full game done. I say the full game, it's the full story. The full game itself is massive. It's absolutely massive. Those of you that want to go for a platinum on this one, you're looking at around 200 hours, no lie. It's not hard to get the platinum in the sense of what you have to do. There's no difficulty trophies or anything like that. But you have to clear the whole damn map. You have to clear all the artifacts. You have to do all the side quests. You have to do all the main missions. You have to upgrade your armor. There's secret weapons you can find. The list goes on. So, which is why it takes around 200 hours to get the platinum trophy, which is insane. Absolutely insane. Anyway, that's Assassin's Creed Valhalla done. I'm a little bit relieved, to be honest, because it is a long game, and even for me, a massive fan of RPG games, even by that standard, it's still stupidly long. Anyway, with that being said, that is the game done. So for those of you that are now going to bounce out of the video, thanks very much for watching. Please leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts on the ending in the comments. I personally felt that it would have been good, and it made sense to end it with the return from Norway. After everything that Sigurd and Eivor went through, Eivor then becomes the king of Ravensthorpe. It just makes sense. I don't really know why you needed that little extra piece there in the end. It felt out of place to me, but let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. For those of you sticking around for the review, here we are. So, talking about everything, which is what I do when I do a game review. I'll talk about everything from the graphics, the sound, the story, the characters, the lot. Just to give you guys a rounded idea and a full idea of what I feel about the game and why I feel that way. So, starting from the top, the graphics goes without saying. Those of you that want to have a glimpse at the game or see some playthrough, I've done a full game playthrough on the channel. There's a playlist that you can check out. I have done some of the missions offline, and that's only because of the sheer volume and size of the game itself. I had to chip away at it in between streams, otherwise we wouldn't be nowhere near the end now, guys. We'd probably be just over halfway through it if I didn't do that. And I've just got so much I want to put in for the channel, there's so much I want to do. So that was my decision to do that. Hopefully you're okay with it. There's loads of Valhalla videos out there, but I just wanted to show you the main bulk of the story. The earlier videos, parts 1 to 3, I did some of the side quests, I did some of the activities and the story missions, weaved in with some of the quests and other in-game side bits that you can do, so you can go and check that out if you want to go and have a peek at that. But as a whole, graphics, absolutely amazing. It takes full advantage of the PlayStation 5's ray tracing ability, so if you can play this on PS5, I strongly recommend that you do. I've seen some footage of the PS4. It's about the same generally, but you can definitely notice the difference with the shadows and the lighting on the PS5, and texturally everything just looks a little bit more smoother, as you would expect from a machine that's got a faster graphics card, a stronger CPU, all that kind of stuff. It works more like a PC than the PS4 because it's got stronger hardware, so you would expect an improvement, and you do. You can clearly see it. What's always been a bugbear of mine, and I get it because it's hard to replicate it in the gaming world with the pixels and everything, and the physics of it, is the hair. The hair in this game looks atrocious, and sometimes it looks okay. Certain hairstyles that you pick look okay, but if you go for like the long braided hair, for example, it doesn't sit right on the head. It just has this weird dynamic where it almost goes rigid off to the side, and it's noticeable. You can get away with it with other hairstyles. Obviously, the shaved head is the easiest one to replicate, but even that, the hair looks like it's straw. It looks, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Go back and have a look, and you'll see what I mean. But the hair itself is, I guess, always going to be difficult to replicate, but you would have thought by now that there would be some sort of technology or software that would replicate it better. It just looks as still, even now, a little bit PS3-ish in terms of the hair. But graphically as a whole, it's a beautiful game. The set pieces are amazing, the towns, the villages, the countryside is the biggest selling point for me. I could spend absolutely hours just exploring all the caves, all the mountains, all the different villages, all the sort of weaving roads. You can go as high up as you can in the mountains, in the snow, with all the different animals and stuff, the Arctic foxes, and then you can come right down into what is essentially the fords or the smaller villages that sit at the side of the sea, and you can go for and explore those as well. Everything you can see in this game you can explore, and it's a huge game, which is actually one of my bugbears. It's one of my gripes, and it's one of the reasons I'm going to mark the game down, believe it or not. You're probably thinking, JayNotion, why would you do that? It's a long game, you know, let's get bang for your buck, and you do. But I think there is overkill. There is such a thing as overkill, and if you go in too heavy with the length of a game, it can start to become tedious, and you can start to see the cracks, and I think this is the case with Valhalla, unfortunately, and I'll explain why in a sec. So graphics, on the whole, it's the biggest selling point for me alongside the music, which I'll talk about in a second. Graphics is really good, but if you can play this on PS5, do it. I managed to pick the game up for £40, and that was a disc version, and it's the PS5 version as well, and I don't regret it at all. I think it's a sound decision to make, and I strongly encourage you to do that if you can. Graphics aside, so talking about the sound is absolutely brilliant. The voice acting is really good. It's really funny in some places. Ivor in particular, Ivor the Boneless, is absolutely nuts, as you would expect from history and everything else, and if you've watched the Viking series. He's a different type of Ivor. It's not, in a way, I wanted them to do the characters a bit like how they are in Vikings, but in another sense, I'm glad they didn't, because then people would moan that they copied it. So I'm glad that they went with their own original concept of the characters, like Uber, Ivor, all the Sons of Ragnar, and it's a good nod to them, it's a good nod to their characters, it's a nod to the history, but it also keeps it original in its own right for the game. So I'm pleased with that, it's good. So as I was saying, the sound, the atmosphere of the settings is really good. The music itself is fantastic. I would highly recommend you guys check out the soundtrack on Spotify if you can. It's now up for you to listen to. Sounds weird, but it's got sort of really northern Danish, Swedish, and sort of Scandinavian music. But there's heavy sort of deep choir music and deep sort of drums, and it's all very sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Tribal. It's all very sort of tribal, and it feels like you're in the game. It adds to the atmosphere. It doesn't take anything away from the game. It adds to the atmosphere and it adds to the dialogue. And I think the music in general is very good. It is very, very good. So I can't fault it. So that's where I am with the sounds. I also really like, as you would expect with a Vikings game or a game about Vikings, is the sound of the weapons crunching against someone's skull. It's oddly satisfying, but that crack and that squelch when you do certain moves like the stomp, or you do the final finishing stun move where you sort of wedge your axe or your hammer or whatever it is you're holding the sword in your hand, it just cleaves into their head and you just rip it. And there's different kill animations for different weapons. There's also different kill animations for the type of enemy that you're doing and how you're killing them. For example, you'll get a different kill animation if you drop off of a ledge onto an enemy than you would if you kill them in hand-to-hand combat face-to-face. So that's pretty cool. And each come with their own slightly different sounds and atmosphere to the kills, so it does add to the game, and I think that is a cool feature. I think they've built on that quite well, especially how it was quite a big gripe for some people in some of the older Assassin's Creed. That's more than been ironed out. So there we are with the sound. It's good. Moving on to the next bit, the characters. On the whole, very, very good, very enjoyable. I cared about Ivor's story. I cared about Sigurd, even though he did annoy me sometimes. There were some great characters in there that I really sort of felt I connected with. Ivor in particular was really, really funny, and you didn't really expect him to be funny, but he was sort of that on-edge, crazy Joker style funny, Joker from Batman style funny, and I think each character had their own personality. Ragnarsson was going through his own sort of depression, and he wanted the glory of everything. He just wanted people to trust him and be trusted, and be able to trust other people, but that didn't work out. So each character kind of had their own story arc and their own things to tell and their own feelings and their emotions about what's going on, not just in the sense of conquering England, but the sense in what's going on in the world around them as well, which I thought was pretty cool. On the whole, the characters, as I said, were good. My favourite character was Ivor, 100%, but also there were some noticeable mentions in there as well. Soma was also really, really cool, and you come across some other side characters as well, which I thought were pretty amazing. Odin in particular was the selling point, and I was blown away when they had that little twist where Ivor almost became Odin and they became as one in the Animus interaction that they had, and that little Odin fight was pretty cool as well. So I was really pleased with that. Story, and this is kind of where I'm in a split decision now. The story as it is at its core is good. So the whole going to England, expanding your empire, conquering, which is what the Vikings did, spreading your influence and controlling and all the pillaging and all that kind of thing. It fits in with history. It fits in with what we know and love about the Vikings and their lore. But the game's just too damn long, and it's going to be one of my criticisms in the review that I'm talking about now. It's just too long, and the first sort of 50 to 60% of the game, just playing through the story, it's good, it's likeable, none of it is really repetitive. In essence, you do just go to a village or a town or a settlement, you deal with some sort of a problem, whatever that looks like. You end up fighting the captain or the king or the jarl of that area, and then you end up conquering that area. But in that process, you gain an ally from that area as well. And it's normally someone that you've worked alongside with during one of the missions to overthrow the jarl, or overthrow the problem, or try and resolve whatever it is that's going on in the area that you're taking over, basically. So that's that. And I just think when you get to sort of 70%, 70% of the way through the game, I mean, it starts to get a little bit more tedious. It starts to get a little bit more repetitive, and you start noticing cracks in things. So then you start noticing that actually you are really just doing the same things over and over, and you are really just conquering England for the sake of it. There isn't really a need to invade and conquer. There's no real, what am I trying to say? There's no real attachment to the story, if that makes sense. I cared about the characters, but I cared about the characters more than the actual story. And when you're playing a game when you don't really care much about what's happening with the story, that's a bit of a problem. So I liked it, but it's too damn long. They could have cut out so much, and I get it. I think the selling point for this game for Ubisoft was that it's the biggest Assassin's Creed game ever, and it is. It 100% is. Like I said, if you guys want to go for the platinum, you're looking at 200 hours plus, which is absolutely insane. I clocked in at 50 hours, which is, again, insane in itself. And that's also bearing in mind that I didn't go full shebang. I did mainly just the main story missions, and I perhaps in the first sort of 10 to 15 hours maybe of the game, the first 10 to 15 hours of the game, I went off tangent a little bit, and I started doing some of the side quests, some of the world activities. I started sort of encountering things in the world. I openly tried to explore a bit, and I tried to loot and all that kind of stuff and upgrade my character and spend some time looking at the skill tree. And if you do that throughout the whole game, it's easy that you're going to clock in a minimum of 200 hours. I'm saying 200 hours to do everything. That's to get the platinum, to do all the side quests, everything that you can do in the game. It's about 200 hours. That is without a guide. If you do it with a guide, it's 200 hours. I'm just trying to put into perspective of how bloody big this game is. And when you think that, when the map opens up and you think, yeah, that is huge in itself, you've actually then got a separate map with separate sections. You've got England and Norway. And looking up online and doing some research, there's actually some more post-game content where you actually go to Jotunheim and you fight all sorts of creatures. I think you fight Loki and stuff like that, and it's like, what the hell? Which is great. I mean, it adds to it. It definitely adds to the essence of the game. It adds to the lore. But I do firmly believe sometimes you can just overdo it, and I think that Ubisoft has. I can honestly say I think they've overdone it this time. It's too much. It really is too much. I would much rather have seen a 30 or a 40 hour game, but fleshed out very well with massively different story arcs, keeping the same characters, keeping what happened to them in the game the same, but just condensing it. It doesn't need to be as long as it is. And I get it, it's all, we've built a massive world, and hats off to you guys. You've obviously worked incredibly hard to put this together, and I'm not slating that at all. I'm not slating your hard work. It is an amazing game, and when you look at the sheer scale of it and what's gone into it, you do fully appreciate it. But at the same time, it doesn't need to be that damn big. It doesn't need to be that damn big. Sometimes less is more, and I really, really liked Odyssey, and Odyssey is probably about 15-20 hours, potentially about 15-20 hours shorter than Valhalla. It was just the right length, I think, when I finished it. I was like, yeah, cool, I liked it, yeah, good story, good setting, good characters. And this has all that, but I don't feel the story is as strong. But on top of that, the game is almost triple the bloody size. And when you've got that essence of the story being so long, you just want it to end. And I did honestly get to the point, I think it must have been about 30 hours in, maybe, just when we started to do the southern regions. It did then start to feel like we were just doing the same things, just with different characters, a different type of stronghold or castle, different type of enemy, but we were in essence doing exactly the same thing that we've done throughout the whole game. And then I started to feel a little bit bored with it, and I was like, not feeling this anymore, and then I started thinking, right, let's just go for the story, let's just clear it and see what happens. And it was a bit disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. There was some twists and there was some turns, like the spoiler, by the way, betrayal of Ivor, which we should have really seen coming. Wolf dying was another kick in the balls. Soma getting killed, I didn't really see that coming. Bit of a shame, but again, I got over it quite quickly. And the whole interaction with Odin in Valhalla and Sigurd was pretty cool as well. The whole relationship between Sigurd and Ivar worked really, really well, but you would expect that too if the story is about two brothers. And I think Sigurd's character was good as well. I think the main characters were great, and those that were involved more heavily in the game than the side characters, such as Alfred, I think it worked. What is really, really odd, and it feels like it's almost been clipped together wrong, and it's another one of my criticisms, is the ending. There isn't really an ending. You do that last bit with England, which comes after the whole Odin section, by the way, and after Ivar becomes Jarl King and everything else, and he's fine with Sigurd. He can then become public with Randvi, and they can announce their love for each other, and it's all hunky-dory. You get a nice song at the end of that cutscene, and it's very sort of drumming up Viking passion and everything else that makes you feel great, and then it just goes back into the game. And then the next thing, you're going to Hamptonshire and you're trying to clear the next area, but that's the last area. It's only 2 missions, and it's all for Guthrum, and it doesn't really feel like it fits properly. I think that particular bit should have come before the Animus section, so the whole bit with seeing what happens with, what's his name, Basim. When you see all that happening in the Animus with Sigurd, Ivar and Basim, and you've got the whole staff of Odin, and everything sort of comes full circle and you understand what's going on, and in the crux of the story, that should have been the true ending for me. Finish that bit with Odin, you go back from Norway with Sigurd. He's now feeling revitalised and he's understanding he is just human, but the life he's living isn't what he wants. He comes back with a bit of a revelation, pieces together his relationship with Ivar, and then he hands Ivar the throne, and that for me was the ending. That should have been the ending. And although it's your typical cliche ending, I liked it, and I thought that was it. When I heard the story and at the end I saw what happened with the characters and the relationships, everything came to a nice close. I just feel that the Hamptonshire bit should have came before all of that, and then that should have been the true ending. It just felt like someone in the writing team somewhere, or the design team, decided to write one ending and then someone else decided to write another, and they just spliced them together. And I'm fine if you're going to do that, but splice it together in the right order. It didn't feel like it sat right with me. So yeah, the ending was a bit poor, especially when you consider I put in 50 hours to get that ending. I'm a bit disappointed, and I'm sure a lot of people are saying the same as well. I've seen a few reviews online where people are saying, like, ending, question mark, what was that? Is it ending? Is it over? When does it actually end? And it's a bit disappointing. I thought it was really cool that, you know, what happens with Sigurd and Odin and that little section about Ivar becoming Jarl and stuff is all influenced by the way that you play the game. So some of the key decisions in the game influence that ending. And that outcome and that little section and that scene, and I think that's brilliant because it gives you replayability. But would you seriously want to replay the whole game again for a minimum of 50 hours, blasting through quite a lot of it, skipping through quite a lot of dialogue just to see the alternatives of that conversation? I wouldn't. My option now is going to be going onto YouTube, checking out some of the videos that you guys have done and seeing some of the alternative dialogue, cutscenes and endings that you can get. I'm quite happy to put this to bed now, and I'm not saying that in a disheartened way. I'm not saying it in a way that, you know, I've fed up with the game and pissed off of it. It's not that at all. It's just that I feel like I've had my fill. I can't possibly get any more out of this game, but you can, and that's the crazy thing. So bang for your buck. It is cheap, and it is worth it if you're an Assassin's Creed fan. If you're a Vikings fan, great. If you're an Assassin's Creed fan, great. If you're both, even better. But the thing is, if you're looking for a game where you can complete it in a fair amount of time, this is not for you. If you want to complete a game where you're just playing mainly for the story, I would still say this isn't really for you. It's an experience, but there's games out there that have a shorter time span in terms of the story, and it fits a lot better. Everything clicks into place. There's a lot better, you know, games out there. Uncharted, for example, has done a really, really good job with all the games that they offer and the way that the story pans out. Even the spin-off series from it, Horizon's another good one. Tomb Raider, they're all good games. You know, they've all got good stories, and I just come away feeling a bit sour after this one because you've put all this time into it and it doesn't really end. You just get some naff sort of, oh, it carries on, your saga continues, and I'm like, nah, fuck, no, I need an actual ending, especially after all that time. So ending is a bit naff. I didn't like it personally, and I just felt that it was rushed. I would much rather have it finished at the 30 or 40 hour mark, everything tied up nicely, cut out some of the sections, cut out some of the regions. Some of it is pretty damn pointless. You didn't need that many. Maybe just do 5 or 6 and in each one. So in Norway and England, why did you need 10, 12, 15 bloody settlements? It just, I don't know, boggles my mind. I don't know why they did it like that, but I think it was just to show off the sheer size of what they could do. Well done, but that is very short-lived for me, and I quickly get over the amazement of how vast some it is, especially when you see that it's been overstretched, and I really do feel this game is overstretched. It needs to be shorter, it needs to be more condensed, it needs to be more precise with the story, and there's a lot of things that they could have done to clip it better together, in my opinion. So there we are, guys. I hope that's given you a view of the game. As I said, I didn't dislike it, but I didn't think it was amazing either. I thought it was a good experience. It's one I will remember, and it's one I will put to bed now. I'm not going to go in and do all the side missions, all the extra stuff, because it's just going to take absolutely ages, and there isn't any real incentive to do it. This is the other thing. You just get a little message at the end, as you guys saw. You can continue your saga, you can go and see this. It's like, but why would you want to? Unless I had a cutscene where I could maybe find something out about one of the characters, a little spin comes in about Basim or Odin, or there's a little inkling about you can go away and fight Loki, and there's a little bit of mystery there. Maybe I would have done it, but it doesn't dangle anything. It doesn't give you an incentive to dig. And unless you're online looking at these types of videos or reviews, you're not going to know that there's other stuff after that. You're just going to assume the mop-up is just going through and collecting all the artifacts, all the wealth, 100% clear in each section, basically. And I personally don't want to do that, and I think a lot of other people are with me on that. So there we are. Assassin's Creed is done. As a whole, I enjoyed it, but it's not a game I will be revisiting. It's not a game I'll be recommending to anyone that wants a shorter experience that's got a sharp, strong story. It is a long haul. It does drag. It does stretch out over a longer period of time than it needs to. There are massive, massive glitch issues. My stream has crashed multiple times in doing the playthrough, despite this game being out now. What is it? 4 or 5 months? And I know big games like this will have constant fixes and patches, but to have such game-breaking bugs still in it, and there's certain sections where I had to reload the section because I had a bug. It said go and find this person, and the person wasn't there. Looked online and I was in the exact spot that the person should be in, where the objective marker was, and I went back there, wasn't there. I had to exit the game, reload the game. I went straight back into where I was, and then lo and behold, the person just appeared in front of me. So yeah, there's still a lot of bugs, there's still a lot of glitches. So just bear that in mind. You're not going to get an absolutely 100% smooth experience with this game, even on a PS5, which I'm playing it on now. It's still riddled with bugs, it's still riddled with problems. Clipping is still a massive issue in these games. I know a big selling point of the original Assassin's Creed games was the fact that you can parkour and free run along walls and stuff, and it looked really slick and cool at the time. We've moved on from that now. I don't want to sound sour grapes, but that's the norm now. We've grown to know that that's what Assassin's Creed games are about. But it hasn't really changed in any way. You try and run up a wall, you hold the right button and you go across to a beam or something, and sometimes you have a wall like this and your character will just do this. And there's no rhyme or reason why it's happening. You can see that there's a hook or a ledge that you can grab onto, but the game just puts this invisible barrier up for your character and you can't reach the bloody thing. And it's frustrating. And it is noticeable. It does take certain feelings, emotions and atmosphere away from that mission that you're playing at the time that it happens in, and it is destroying a little bit the amount of times it does happen. I'm sure they'll fix it with time. I'm sure they'll continue to patch it. There's still a lot of effort that's going into the game, so that's good. But as it stands right now, I have to review it on the product that I've played, and it isn't without its flaws. There's still a lot of problems that still need a lot of attention. So just bear that in mind. If you are going to bite the bullet and get this one and play it, you're in for a good experience, but just bear in mind you're not going to get absolutely perfect storytelling, absolutely perfect length in terms of what you're paying your money for. It's just a massive game, and also the clipping and the glitches. Some of it is game breaking, sometimes it'll crash your game outright. Sometimes you'll have weapons that will just appear through the wall. Speaking of going through walls, there's loads of times where I was running through a building, an enemy was chasing me, I'd shut the door behind me and he would launch the axe from outside of the building through the stone wall and it would hit me in the back of the head. Whilst it's absolutely brilliant and it's quite funny to see, it starts to become silly, and you don't really want a game like Valhalla to do that. You want it to have its moments, you want it to have its intended comedy, i.e. the one-liners that you get, and by the way, the jokes and everything else is absolutely amazing. The swearing is perfectly placed as well, and a lot of people say, oh, you know, not really keen if a game's got swearing, but it is perfectly placed and it's not overused, and it sits well with the situation and the certain dialogue that's being used at the time. So I'm not slating that at all. I think it adds to the game. I think it adds to the comedy, as we see in all our greatest, you know, films that we know and love that use those kind of techniques to build on the film and draw in a bigger audience, basically. So there we go, guys. That's the review wrapped up. If I was to give this a mark out of 10, it will scrape an 8. I'm happy to give it an 8 out of 10, maybe a 7. I was teetering between the two, but just looking at the improvements to the graphics, the story overall is okay, the characters are very good, the dialogue is very good, the sound is excellent. As a whole, the graphics are excellent. There's just a lot of bugs, there's a lot of glitches, there's a lot of clipping issues, the hair still looks like cat shit, but apart from that, it's okay, it's a good game. So I'm going to give it a slightly above average rating of 8 out of 10. Things that mark it down, as I've said: bugs, glitches, clipping, story's too damn long, and some of it just feels overstretched, overworked, and it could have ended 10 years ago. It's too long. Just condense it and make a more stronger, more positive experience, and just make it feel like it fits better. As I said, towards the latter section of the game, it felt like stuff was just being thrown at us, it was just being rushed. None of it was really explained that well, but also it didn't need to be there. And when you're sitting there thinking, what's the point of this? Why do I need to sit here and listen to this? Why am I playing for that bit? You've got a problem then. So that's my reasons for the 8, guys. But let me know your thoughts on the game if you've completed it. Let me know in the comments what you thought of my review. I hope you've enjoyed it. That is Assassin's Creed Valhalla in the bag, done. I'm going to go back now and watch the final series of Vikings, just to carry on this this feeling of working my way towards Valhalla, basically. A lot of people are asking me in the chat what is next, and it's a very good question. I don't know in terms of the full game playthrough that I do next. I've still got some final parts to upload for It Takes Two. Go and check that out, guys. There's a playlist for that now on the channel. Amazing game. You have to play it in couch co-op or online co-op, but honestly, it's an amazing experience. Really, really fun. Really good comedy, amazing story, and really good dialogue. So go and check that one out. If you've seen films like Honey, I've Shrunk the Kids, it's basically that, but you play with your friends, you play with your family. It's a 2-player game, and I highly recommend you go and check that one out. So more of that to come, finishing parts of that to arrive to complete the playlist, and I've got a few ideas in my head about what I'm going to do next. Potentials are Battlefield Hardline. It's an old one, but I want to get my teeth into that one. I've got Ancestors, the Odyssey. I've also got South Park that I haven't cracked into yet. I've got a Bloodborne playthrough that I'm planning to do with you guys, the DLC. I've maxed out my time on Bloodborne, but it's one of my favourite all-time games, and a lot of people have asked me to do a stream, so I might just do the DLC. Fall Guys has gone through a lot of updates, so I'm considering doing a stream on that as well, just to show you the changes, and hopefully earn myself crown number 2. But we'll see. I've got some ideas floating around, but stay tuned, guys, into the channel, and more parts, as I said, for It Takes Two is coming out very, very soon. I've got some more comedy shorts coming for you as well. and the podcast will be reignited very, very soon. I've collated all the questions. I just need to find some time with my good friend the V-Man to put aside when we're going to do it, basically. And it won't be long. In the coming weeks, I'd imagine. But thank you so much, guys, for supporting the channel. Please leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, and please subscribe if you're brand new. I would love to have you on board. Thank you to Firewall for your help, advice, and it's good to hear that you're recovering from COVID. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you all again very soon. Until the next time, take care of yourselves, and either wear a pair of shorts, because apparently it's going to be really hot this week, but it's also meant to snow, so maybe take some shorts and an umbrella with you. Who knows? Peace out, guys. Thanks for tuning in.